Chris needs a second date update, and we're going to try to help him out. Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good. So what's the story with Grace?
Well, I met her online, as one does these days, and everything on her profile was perfect. She has a dog, which is always huge plus. We like the same music. We're actually both Xavier grads. She's into sports, which is great, and outdoor activities. So I asked her if she wanted to go on a hike, and she said that sounded great. So I picked her up. We went to Yellow Springs, which is, it's not too far, but far enough away that we'd have some time together in the car to get to know each other a bit. And
nice car convo.
Exactly. And the car convo was great. I just felt like it was, it just felt really easy.
I can't believe she said yes, because if somebody would have told me one of my dates would have been me trapped in a car for a while, I probably would have been like, I can't go. Especially a first date. I don't know why I would have had anxiety about it.
I'd be like, Fritz, let's just go for a drive.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the door locks and I can't get out. I'm like, can I get out, please?
Yeah, in fairness, we had been chatting for a bit. So I think there was some comfort, in terms of just, yeah. But yeah, we got there, we hiked for a couple hours and then drove back. And she was a little bit more quiet on the ride back, but I think that was just from being a little tired. It was
That was a long day.
Yeah.
A long day, yeah. And she was still in a good mood. But I dropped her up at home. I went in to see her dog, and I hung out for a few minutes. We didn't, do anything. And then she hugged me goodbye, and that was it. And I was like, I'd love to see you again soon. And she's like, yeah, sounds great. And I've texted a couple times, but haven't heard back from her.
Okay. All right. That's pretty concise.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Complete. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll call her up and see what her story is.
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll do it next as we continue. Jeff and Jen's second date update on Q102. Oh, might have been 3 or 4 weeks ago. We did a story about how more and more first dates are becoming activity dates. And Gen Zers especially are finding that they have a better success rate at getting a second date if they do an activity, like going for a hike.
Bowling.
Or bowling, exactly.
Yeah.
As opposed to just hanging out in a bar. Well, that's what Chris and Grace did, is they went on a hike. And I think what makes the Yellow Springs semi-brilliant is it's far enough away that you feel like you're away, but it's not so far away that it's out of reach.
Yeah.
You've got enough time in the car to kind of talk and get to know someone on the way to and from.
Yeah. Plus, you can really get a gauge on their road trip snacking, etc. If they get the corn nuts and the jerky and maybe some sort of soda, fountain soda, you're in.
Right. And the fact that Chris and Grace have all this stuff in common and she seemed like she was in a good mood right up until the very end is all positive. They hugged. He hung out a little bit after, got to meet her dog. So we're going to call Grace and see why she's not returning his calls all of a sudden, because it just does seem weird. It seems to fly in the face of the experience Chris had. Unless there's anything else you left out that you want to add, Chris?
No, that's it. You got it.
Okay, let's call her up.
Hello?
Hi, is this Grace?
Yes.
Hi, Grace.
Who's calling?
It's Jeff and Jenn at Q102. How are you?
Really?
Yeah. You busy? You got a few minutes?
It's a second date update.
Why does everybody jump to the conclusion that it's second date update?
Because we usually go out and deliver the big prizes.
Oh, got it. Okay. Maybe. Yes. Kind of.
Okay. So I'm not really sure who is asking for a second date, but it's not going to work.
What? Hold on.
I don't care who it is on the phone. I'm not doing it.
First of all, how much dating are you doing?
Seriously. Maybe that's it.
Well, you sound like Fritz back in the day.
I know.
If I ain't calling you back, it's not happening.
Yeah, if you want to tell me who you're calling about, let me know. But otherwise, no.
Didn't you enjoy your hike with Chris?
Oh, that guy.
What's wrong with that guy? He sounds nice.
Well, he doesn't listen.
He doesn't listen?
Yeah, he doesn't listen.
What do you mean he doesn't listen? You had a long car ride with him. Didn't you guys talk and get to know each other?
Yeah, it was nice, and we had a nice conversation. And
You went on a hike?
It would have been nice in theory. Yeah, and I told him that I was good for a 1-hour hike. I have pretty bad seasonal allergies, and I'm nursing a sprained ankle. I told him all of that. And yet, he insisted on showing me this one particular waterfall, which was a 2-hour hike.
Yeah.
And he kept being like, come on, you're fine. You can do this. Trust me, it's worth it. So I did it, and I was miserable after. My ankle was throbbing. My head was so congested. It was bad, and I was pissed. But I figured it was pointless to say anything. I mean, it's just obvious that we weren't a good fit. I knew as soon as we got to that dumb waterfall that I'd never be seeing him again. So.
She sounds congested now.
I think so, too.
A little bit.
Oh, I understand this, though, where, and it's not necessarily just the hike and the allergies, but I'm definitely one of those people, like, if you tell me it's going to be an hour, it better be an hour. Don't be trying to extend this thing until 2-3 hours. We'll just tell her when we get there. It's like, no, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And here I was thinking this was such a great creative idea. Y'all are getting in the outdoors. I mean, Kristen loves going on hikes.
Yeah, but when you say an hour and it's 2, like that's a big difference for people as far as physical activity.
Okay. Well, can we bring Chris into the conversation? Chris, you still there?
Yeah, I mean, you seemed like you were fine. I think you're just being dramatic here, honestly. I mean,
women love it when you say, I think you're just being dramatic.
I don't think I was. And this is like a kind of embarrassing on your part for you to be doing this on the radio. Sure, maybe I should have been like, hey, this isn't going to work out. But I really didn't think you'd be receptive. And this is a great example that you don't know how to take no for an answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if you would have said something at the time, I would have apologized. I mean, I'll apologize now. Like but I think I just think you're making it sound like it was some like very arduous hike, and it wasn't.
Well, I'm telling you, my ankle was hurting, and I have really bad allergies. I said it.
Yeah.
I mean, do you not recall her saying it, Chris?
Yeah, but I thought it was I thought it was more sort of just like, I don't know. I guess I should have listened more now that I think back.
He's it's not that far guy.
Yeah. 10 more minutes. Honey, just 10 more minutes.
It's actually not that far.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I can kind of be that way. I mean, look, I'll own it. I can see where you're coming from, but, I agree. I think we're probably not a good match.
Well, that's good to hear, and I'm glad we agree on that.
There you go. Okay, well, glad we had the conversation. Grace, appreciate you taking the call. Sorry it didn't work out, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for facilitating this.
No problem.
This mediation.
Hey, appreciate you putting yourself out there.
Thanks for listening